Hi, my name's Mark Willows from Clocks4Classics, and today I'm going to show you how to fit one of our EasyFit repair kits to this RVI Gen1 type tachometer. Now these rev counters are made by both Smiths and Jaeger. This is a Jaeger one, and you can tell that it's an RVI Gen1 because it has this wire loop on the back of the case. Now when you're installing the rev counter, it's important to keep this wire loop intact, so we remove it from the rev counter but we leave it intact in the car's wiring loom as it forms the supply to the car's ignition coil. So let's get started with fitting the kit. Well, the first thing we're going to do is just remove the glass and the bezel, and on this rev counter that's very easy, it just twists off. Sometimes you might find they're stiff, and in which case you need to apply some penetrating oil, but this one's nice and loose, and the bezel and glass just lift off, as you can see. Next we need to remove the rev counter from the case, and first of all we're going to remove this wire loop at the back. Now normally there's a nut just there, it's missing on this rev counter, but when the nut's there you remove it. You remove this little piece here, and the wire loop will come off, and you leave that connected to the vehicle. Now it's a matter of undoing the two screws that hold the rev counter into the case, so that's this one and this one. I'll just do that now. Okay, so now you can see we've got the mechanism of the rev counter removed from its case, and you can see that it consists of three main parts. So there's an outer circuit board here, an inner circuit board, and then behind the dial there's what we call the movement, which is the actual mechanism that moves the needle. So the two circuit boards are going to be, their function is going to be replaced by the circuit board from the repair kit. So we're going to disconnect those, but we're going to leave them in place because that's easier. So if you look, if I can just get close here, you can see that these here are the two connections there and there to the movement, and one's got a red wire connected to it just there, and one's got a black wire connected to it just there, and we want to cut those connections where they join the circuit board, so we want to disconnect them from the circuit boards, leaving as much length of wire in place as possible because they're going to connect to our new circuit board. So I'm going to first of all cut the red wire, and you can see that that joins the circuit board just here. I'm going to cut that. There we are, and if I follow the black wire through, it joins the circuit board on the other side. You can see it joins the circuit board just there. I'm going to cut that wire as well, and I'll pull that back through. So there we are, we have those two wires cut. Now the next thing I'm going to do is test the movement to check that it works, and also to check the polarity of the two wires. And the way I'm going to do that is by connecting them to a small AA battery. Now I need to strip the wires in order to do that, so I'm just going to stop the video for a moment. Okay, so I've stripped the two wires, and I'm going to take my AA battery, and I'm going to join the black wire to the negative end of the battery and the red wire to the positive end, and you can see if I do that the needle moves, so we know the movement is okay. Now if that doesn't work, try turning the battery around, because sometimes the colours are incorrect. So if that is the case, just make a note of that and make a note of which wire is the positive one. Usually it will be the red one, but not always. Okay, so now we've tested the movement from our Tacho and we've seen that it works, and so we're now going to fit the EasyFit circuit board from the repair kit. So this is the board, and you can see on the front it's got two wires, a white and an orange, and they're the wires that are going to connect to our Tacho movement. And if we turn the board round, we can see on the rear there are three wires, and a red, a black and a blue, and these are the wires that will connect to the vehicle once the Tacho is installed, and we'll talk more about those later. And there's just one other thing that I'd like to point out on the board. If you look at the top corner here, I'll just zoom in a little bit, you can see this little button on the top here, and this is the calibration button that we use to calibrate the Tacho once the circuit board has been fitted, and we'll talk more about that later as well. So let's get on with fitting this board to our Tacho. And if we look at the Tacho, what we're going to do is replace this rear circuit board with the EasyFit circuit board. We're going to leave the middle circuit board in place. It won't be doing anything. All the functions will be taken over by the EasyFit board, but it's easier just to leave that middle board in place. And in order to remove the rear board, the first thing we need to do is to cut some of the wiring that joins the rear circuit board to the middle circuit board. And the first part we need to cut, if I just zoom in again, you can see that there is this, just let me get it in view, you can see there's this small green wire here joining the two circuit boards. This wire just here. So I'm just going to cut that now, and I'll cut it near to the middle circuit board, or actually if I trace it through you can see that it ends up just here, so I'll cut it there. It doesn't really, all we need to do is remove all the items that join the two circuit boards together. So I've cut it there, and that'll allow us to remove the rear circuit board. And the other item I need to cut, if I turn the circuit board round, you can see that there is this resistor here that's soldered between the two circuit boards, and I'm also going to need to remove that so that I can remove the rear circuit board. So I'm going to cut that. I'll cut it just here near to the middle circuit board. Okay, so with those two items cut, now I can remove the rear circuit board, and that's just a matter of undoing the two screws. I'll do that now. And there, that's the rear circuit board, and in fact there's a couple of items here that I forgot to cut. There's these two wires here, a red and a black. You can see them there. I'm just going to cut those just there. So basically you just need to cut any of the wires that are joining those two circuit boards. There you are, that's them cut, and that's the circuit board removed. So now we can fit our replacement board, and the replacement board just fits on like this, and is secured with the two screws that we took out previously. So I'll just pop those in place. Okay, that's the board fitted, and the one thing to note is that the calibration button that we talked about earlier, that is at this top corner here. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to make the connections between the EasyFit board and the Tacho movement. And what we need to do is connect the orange wire from the EasyFit board to the positive Tacho wire. And when we tested it earlier with the battery, we saw that the positive wire was in fact the red wire, as you'd expect. And we need to connect the white wire from the EasyFit board to the negative Tacho wire, and in our case that is the black wire. And the way I'm going to do that is with these crimp connectors. I'll just zoom in so you can see those a bit better. There we go. And these are very easy to use. You just poke the two wires into these holes here, and you then press the button on the top down with a pair of pliers, and they make a very good connection. So I'll just do that now. So I'm going to join the red and the orange wires together. So I poke the wires in like that, make sure they go right to the end of the connector, and then I squeeze the button with a pair of pliers. And it's important to make sure that the button is squeezed all the way round in order to make a good connection. Just make sure you squeeze it down all the way round. And you'll notice that there's some gel is squeezed out of the connector. That's just to seal the connection and make sure there's no corrosion. So I'll just do the same now with the white and black wires. Poke the two wires in, making sure they go right to the end. There we are. And just squeeze the button with the pliers, and that's the connection made. Now, if earlier on when we tested the Tacho movement with the batteries, if you found that the colours were incorrect, then obviously you would swap these two connections around. Okay, so the only other thing we need to do is just tuck those out of the way, and you need to make sure that they're tucked out of the way so there's somewhere that doesn't interfere with the movement. Make sure the needle can still move freely all the way around, and it can, and that is the board fitted. Now, before we fit the movement back into the case, there is one more thing that needs to be done, and that is that it needs to be calibrated. As I mentioned before, the way we do that is with this calibration button on the back there, and there's a separate video that explains the procedure for that, so I'll let you watch that separately. So now we're going to look at drilling the hole in the rear of the case for the wire exit, and to mark the position of the hole we use this template that comes with the kit, and you can see that I've cut the template out, and also I've made a small pinprick right in the centre there. So the way we use this template is we place it face down on the back of the case. It's marked with the letters top, which is where the top of the Tacho would normally be, and then we turn it round and we look on the inside of the case and we line up the dots, and I'm just going to do that now. So we line up the dots with the holes in the case, and you'll find it'll only line up one way. There we are. So you can see I've lined the black dots up with the holes in the case there, and then we turn it over and just hold the template in place with a couple of pieces of tape. So that it can't move, and I'll just double check by looking inside that the dots still line up with the holes, and they do. You can see them there. And then what we do is we drill where the pinprick is, just there, and we drill with an 8mm drill. And one note of caution, do make sure that this case is clamped down when you drill it, otherwise it could spin and that could cause injury. So I'm going to drill that hole now, and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so now I've drilled the hole in the case, and I've also deburred it so that there are no sharp edges. So now we need to fit the tachometer mechanism into the case, and that's simply a matter of threading the wires through the hole and placing the mechanism back in the case, and then we secure it with the screws that we removed earlier. So one screw in here, and one in here. And you might be thinking, well, shouldn't we add a grommet to protect the wiring at the back of the case? Actually, we don't need to do that, because the circuit board holds the wires nicely in the middle of the hole, and they won't chaff against the edge of the hole. And in fact, if we were to add a grommet, it would make the spacing inside the tachometer incorrect. So we actually avoid doing that. So that's the mechanism fitted back in the case, and now we just need to twist the bezel and the glass back on, and that is the tachometer refitted. Now when you come to fit the tachometer into the vehicle, please take a look at the vehicle installation instructions on our website. They are a separate document from the kit fitting instructions, and the vehicle installation instructions have diagrams for the various vehicle configurations. But just to briefly run through the wiring, the red and the black wire are the power supply to the tachometer. So the red is the plus 12 volt supply, and the black is the negative supply. So if you have a negative earth car, you would connect the black wire to earth and the red wire to the 12 volt feed. If you have a positive earth car, then the red wire would be earth and the black wire would be the negative feed. And then the blue wire connects directly to one of the ignition coil terminals. Now, which terminal it connects to depends on whether your car is positive or negative earth, and also on what type of ignition system you have. So please take a look in the vehicle installation instructions, and they have details of which terminal you should connect that wire to. So thank you for watching, and that's how we fit one of our EasyFit repair kits to a Smith's or Jaeger Gen 1 RVI type tacho.